Alright, so in this video we're actually going to create our second view, and that's going to be the view that we want to pop up, right? Because we actually want to add a drink to this app. So what we're going to do, we go in here, we're going to call ViewController, we're going to drag it onto the screen. Let's align it a little bit with the other screen so it looks nice. And we're also going to do Command N, because we also need another Cocoa Touch class. And this class is going to be add drinks ViewController, and it's going to be of UI ViewController, and we're going to write next, go to here, gonna select this one, and the class is going to be drinks, add drinks ViewController. Okay. So now we actually want, when we click the plus sign, the button, we actually want to show this screen, right? So how we can do this, we're going to select the view controller, control drag to the second view controller, and we can select the segue. So we can select show detail, present modally, or pop over, and I want a modally, because when you pop them on modally, you get like a little bit like this 3D effect, like on the top here, because then you get like an overlapping, and the last screen is like a little bit like a 3D view. It looks really nice when you have it on the phone. Okay, so we can select the segue here. We're gonna give this an identifier of drinks, and let's go to view controller, and let's open up a second editor. And on this side we're actually going to open them in the storyboard, or that side is also okay. And we're actually going to select the button here. We're going to control drag this one. I think we made a mistake here. We need another there. I made a mistake. And we're actually going to drag the button under here, under the viewed load, and we're going to call this add drinks button tapped. And now we actually created an IB action. So with an IB action you can actually give your buttons, sliders and so on, you can actually give them a function. So that's what we did here. And in here we can actually write perform segue with identifier, and the identifier was drinks, and the sender is going to be self. Let's run this and let's test this out. And yes, it works. As you can see, when we click the button, we have actually this really nice animation. Pretty cool. And we can swipe it down and then it's gone. Okay, let's close this editor. And now we're actually gonna make this editor look a little bit like this. So we're gonna add a navigation bar. That's this one. Gonna drag it onto here. Let's constrain this, so 0 from the left, 0 from the top, 0 from the right. And we want prefers large languages, large titles, because I really love that. We're gonna select the title here, we're gonna call this add a new drink. Perfect. And we're also gonna give this the same text, the title color of the same bluish that we used over here. I think. Why doesn't, wait a second, I think, oh, we need the title color. That's going to be this one. Perfect, this looks nice. Okay. So, now we actually need a way to save information, right, to show people what we can do. So, for this, we can actually use a picker view. And with a picker view, you can actually add custom or sample information, and people can actually scroll that one. That's pretty cool. So what we need now, we're gonna constrain this 0 from the left, 0 from the right, and let's do this 15 from the top. Okay, let's open up a new editor so that we can actually do something with this. We're gonna delete the boiler code, and we're going to make a little bit of space here, and then we're going to control drag the picker view, and we're going to call this drinks picker view. Connect. Okay, so to work with the drinks picker view, we actually need to create a new extension of add drinks ViewController, and this is going to be UI picker view delegate and UI picker view data source. So a little bit like what we had to do with the table view, so that this controller can use the UI picker view functions. So as you can see, it already starts to complain. Numbers of components and numbers of rows in section. So first we have to create like information that we want to show, right? So we have 3 drinks, and we're also going to choose for 3 different kinds of amounts of liquid. So let's say var, and let's call this picker data is equal to an empty array, but in that array we actually going to create another array. So we're actually going to create an array of arrays. Pretty cool. So the first one is going to be water, second one is going to be mojito, and the third is going to be juice. After that we're going to create another array, and in this array we're going to create 100 milliliters, comma 250 milliliters, and last but not least 500 milliliters. Okay, so let's write this. So we have our number of components. I think we need to return 2, so we do return. Oh, we can actually return picker data dot count, because inside the picker data we have 2 arrays, so we return 2 rows, and in here we can actually do return, and we're going to return 3 because we need 3 rows in the component. And last but not least, it's going to be func picker, and we actually need title for row, and in the title for row we're going to write return picker data of array component and another array of row. So theoretically this should work. Theoretically. Oh wait, we forgot one thing. In the view.load we actually need to add more code, and we can actually add drinks picker view dot delegate is equal to self, and drinks picker view dot data source is also equal to self. And theoretically this should work now. So let's run this. Let's click the button, and it actually works. So we have water, mojito, and we have juice, and we have 100, 250 and 500. Pretty cool. And the reason why we only do 3, because making bigger picker views is like really extensive, and it's not that easy. And how many people do drink 1 liter of water or juice in one blow, right? Normally it's like 100 milliliters, 250 or 500. Okay, so we have that. What we need now is a button, because we actually want to save the information. So we go to our object library. In here we have a button. Let's drag it onto here. Let's make this a little bit bigger so that we can see something. Let's give this a text, and the text is going to be save my drink. And we're going to give it a text color of white. And we're going to give the background color of the same darkish darkish color we had before. And we're actually going to give this a width constraint of a height constraint. Let's force the height to 45. Let's make this a little bit bigger. 45. Okay. And let's actually constrain this 100 from the left, 100 from the right, and let's do this 10 from the top add constraints, perfect. So now we actually want to give our button also a little bit like rounded corners, right? So what we can do, we can actually create a new Cocoa Touch class, and we're gonna call this save button, and this is gonna be of UI button. We're gonna save this, and we can actually save this in views so that everything is nice and ordered, and it doesn't save, so let's drag this to views. Okay, so inside the save button we actually need awake from nib, and we actually don't need the class, we just need the function, and in there we're going to call super.awake from nib, hey, and under there we can actually do layer dot corner radius is equal to 15. Okay, and after that we go back to our main.storyboard. The button is still selected. No, it isn't. Select the button, and in here we can actually call save button, and when we run this, we actually have a nice rounded button. Pretty cool. Okay, so we actually created a really nice and easy UI here, and I see we didn't change the background color yet. So let's select this view, that is this view, because I need the background color from that one, and the background color is F9 FAAF, F of AFF, Command C. Let's go to this view, we're gonna select this view. The system background is going to be custom. Let's paste this in. And I think now it has the same color. Let's run this again, just to test it out. And yes, it does. Yes. Okay. So I think that's going to be the end of this video. In the next video, we're actually going to learn how we can retrieve the selected value of a picker view, and how we can save this inside user defaults, and how we can retrieve this inside the table view. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you start to understand a little bit how you can actually build amazing apps with UIKit. If it happens that you still have questions, make sure to hit me up in Discord. I'm there as well, and my moderators as well, and I'm sure they will help you with everything you need help with.